Okay, it's 3:30. State Government Committee will come to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Sells.
Here.
Representative Bedsole.
Here.
Dr. Boyd. Representative Butler. Representative Chestnut. Representative Keel. Representative Kirkland. Representative Lawrence. Representative Paramore. Representative Shaw.
Here.
Representative Stodhagen. Representative Wood. Representative Yarborough. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Our first bill up today is HB 120 by Representative Shaw, and we'll let him handle that from where he sits.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is HB 120. This is a slight tweak to the exemption for cooperative purchasing for school boards that includes the installation of goods that are purchased through these agreements. Right now, you can go to the kind of cooperative purchasing site, pre-approved pricing site, and you can buy the goods. You can buy the lights or the flooring or whatever, but then you have to go out to bid for the installation of those, so which kind of defeats the purpose. So this will this just adds the services as part of that exemption. So if they buy flooring or lights, they can also purchase the installation of those fixtures as well.
Okay, thank you, Representative Shaw. It's a good bill. Do we have any questions or any comments? Okay, we have a motion. Motion by Representative Butler, second by Representative Kirkland. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, sir. Bill passes. Okay, now I'm going to turn the meeting over to my vice chairman. I have him take care of the next two bills.
Yes, sir. The next bill on the agenda will be SB 106. Chairman Sells.
Okay, so I passed this same bill. We've actually passed this bill out of the House already. This addresses the Department of Commerce's salary. So their salary was not set in line with the other cabinet members, and all this does is bring their salaries in line with the other cabinet members.
We've heard the explanation. Motion. Motion. Do we have a second? Motion and second. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Chairman Sells, I think we're back to you with HB 270.
Yes, sir. Let me get to it. Okay, so HB 270 is a bill that is it's a cleanup kind of bill. So what we found out is there's been some court actions against some states that do tax sales kind of like we do them. So we're trying to keep ourselves out of trouble until we can come up with something better. So what this does is on the tax sale side, it allows a person to get the over money. So if you sell a piece of property and it sells for more, then actually the tax is owed that when the property is processed, that person can come back and get the over money. And what it does on the lien side, it adds an extra year. It goes from 3 years to 4 years, and it adds in more notification processes, and it adds in more time for them to react to the notification. And it also, this is including the amendment, and it also allows them to sell the piece of property if they want to sell it in order to pay the lien off. So I have an amendment, Mr. Chairman. It's in the packet.
Okay. Care to explain your amendment?
Not really. Okay. Okay, what it does is does what I said. It changes the period from 3 years to 4 years. It makes it where the person can, hold on just 1 second. Okay, thank you. Okay. So if they do not want to lose interest in the property, that they can respond by the action and they can sell the property. So selling it is an option. So it does that, and it does several things. And we have our public hearing on this, and the first speaker, or one of the speakers, is Sonny Brasfield, and he can explain the amendment a little bit better.
Okay. I will take that you're making a motion for this amendment. Do I have a second? All right. Any discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we have the amendment on back on the bill itself. Do you have anything further, Chairman Sells, before we open up for public comment?
No, sir.
Okay. At this time, we are going to have public comment related to this bill. We have 3 people who have signed up. Each individual will be allowed 3 minutes to speak, and at which time the clerk will let you know your time is up. With that being said, clerk, will you call the first person up, please?
Jeremy Walker.
Thank you, members of the committee, Mr. Chair and Vice Chair. I'm Jeremy Walker, representing the Alabama Association of Realtors. We speak against the bill, and not because a lot of effort has not been made. We really appreciate the bill sponsor, Representative Sells, and Sonny Brasfield, and all the work that he and his team have done. This is probably the most complicated area of the law that we deal with in housing, these tax sales. Super difficult. We've got a colleague here from Pacific Legal, Colleen Lindgren. She are one of they're a private property advocacy group. They bring these cases across the country. They're the ones that challenge us at the U.S. Supreme Court, and we're relying on a lot of their expertise here. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you got a homeowner. They own their house outright, $100,000 home. They don't pay their taxes for some reason. They fall behind. You have an investor, they come in, they pay the $1,000. This goes on a few years. At the end of that period, they go to perfect title to the property in a foreclosure deed sale. Okay, so they've got $10,000 in the property. They go to put it in their name. The question of this entire U.S. Supreme Court case is what happens to the other $90,000? And the U.S. Supreme Court has said, you're not entitled to that $90,000. Government is only entitled to be made whole, okay? And the investor also cannot get that $90,000. That equity belongs to the homeowner. If not, it is an excessive taking and an excessive fine under the Constitution. So we've got a little bit of a difference of opinion on how the mechanism is in place on how we get that equity to that homeowner, okay? And if we think about it in a different context, in a straight condemnation, city comes in, they want to build a new school, they condemn property. Well, they condemn it, and then you pay the landowner. The landowner really doesn't have to do anything. Even if you can't find the landowner, it goes to the landowner's family, or it goes to the Department of Treasury. We'd like to see the same process here. The counties have an opt-in provision where during the 4-year period, after you've got liens on your property for not paying your taxes, you've got 4 years to sell your home. And we think not everybody that's in this situation, deal with low-income people, you deal with elderly people. These are unsophisticated people. They're not going to get out and hire a lawyer. I wish they would. I wish they'd pay their taxes. But if they had the money to hire a lawyer, they probably would pay their taxes to begin with. And if they don't have anywhere to go, they're probably not going to sell their house during this 4-year period. So we would respectfully like to see a mechanism where that equity automatically goes to the homeowner. And Pacific Legal has some ideas on how to do that. And we appreciate it's a very complex issue and really appreciate all the work that has been done on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Call the next speaker up, please.
Sonny Brasfield.
Jeremy's correct. This is a massively complicated issue. We've dealt with the tax sale law and the tax lien auction law for years. There are a number of tax officials here today that can answer any questions if you have those. And then our folks from the office who have worked hard on this legislation for some time. I think there are two elements. I don't think there's any disagreement between the parties on the portion of the legislation that deals with the tax sale and the overbid. I think the disagreement among the parties deals with the tax lien auction process. After 4 years, the bill changes the key time from 3 years to 4 years. After 4 years, the person who owns the lien, who bought the lien because taxes weren't paid, this bill says that person can begin to perfect the lien and can ask the court to give them title to the property. The bill says that the person who owns the property still has the option to pay the taxes off and keep the property, okay? That doesn't go away until the final order of the court is issued. This bill also says the person can say, I don't have the money. I want you to sell the property for me. And that sale will occur. The first monies off the top of the sale will pay the lien holders, and the rest of the money, the $90,000 that Jeremy mentioned, will come back to the pockets of the property owner. There's no effort by this association to move to a place where we're not going to provide the opportunity for the homeowner to be able to be made whole. They could have sold the property during the entire 4 years as well. The amendment is language that was taken primarily from a bill in Arizona. We patterned our tax lien statute from the Arizona law. The Arizona option was raised on a call on Monday with the Alabama Realtors and the Pacific Legal Foundation. The additional language provided in the amendment that states clearly, if you don't take action, you may lose your property. That's in the amendment. The amendment also extends the time for responding by the property owner to beyond the times that are now in the Alabama Rules of Civil Procedure. We actually jump over those rules and extend an extra 60 days for the property owner to demand the sale so that they can keep their money. We think we've accomplished everything we can do to make this process work inside Alabama's system that we utilize to ensure that people do comply with paying their property taxes, and there has to be a mechanism. We think we've addressed everything the U.S. Supreme Court said for us to do, and we encourage you to give the bill a favorable report, and I left 2 seconds on the board.
Thank you, Mr. Brassfield. Call up the next speaker.
Kylene Lindgren.
All right. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, thank you for your time, and thank you, Chair Sells, for your engagement on this issue. And to Sunny and the others that we've spoken with, we've really appreciated the chance to talk about this. And Jeremy hit a lot of the points that I was going to, so out of respect for everyone's time, I'm going to condense my comments to the one issue that Sunny alluded to that we disagree on. And that is that we believe that the bill as it stands is still unconstitutional under Tyler and also under another Supreme Court decision called Nick, that's out of Pennsylvania. And it's unconstitutional because it places the burden on the property owner to proactively go out and try to figure out what their property is worth, how to move forward, and they have to make a claim before the property before the redemption period is even done. They have to affirmatively state, we think there's equity, we want it. And they have to engage in a process that, as Jeremy said, is very complicated. It's complicated for us. I think it's complicated for everyone in this room who has had to deal with tax law. And it's immensely complicated for the normal person that we have found in our years of litigating in this space and research. These are the sick, these are the elderly, people who have had crises, and it's very difficult. And so what we would like to see is this committee and the chair and continue dialoguing with folks at the counties and others about how we can fix, and I think it's a simple fix, rather than requiring these people to opt in, or some would call this a demand policy. That's another way of thinking about it. The person must demand a sale to receive the equity. We would strongly encourage you to follow both our view of Tyler and the Supreme Court's decision in Nick, which was a 2019 case, and give these individuals what they're owed from the government, which is it's incumbent upon the government who created this system to make it as accessible as possible and to proactively provide. It's great that this bill says that the equity has to be returned, but it's only if these people can figure out how to navigate this system to get the sale. And it's incumbent upon the government to take that extra step, require this market assessment. You could use a previous tax assessment or something like that, and then reimburse the person. So there are options. It can be done, and we would really encourage you to strongly consider those. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I'll bring it back to the committee. Does anybody have any questions for any of our speakers? Okay, hearing none, I'll bring it back to the sponsor of the bill, Chairman Sells. Do you have any further comment?
Yes, sir. So I know there is some burden on the taxpayer, but the number one burden is to pay the taxes. They're sent multiple notices. It's running in the newspaper, and trust me, their cousins call them and everybody else. Hey, I see your name in the newspaper. You know, and it's not like they're selling $100,000 houses out here. I've been involved in this for years, and if it's a house somebody lives in, they're going to pay the taxes. I actually know a person in my district that never paid his taxes on time. He waited till it was posted in the newspaper, and after you pass the deadline, you still have a month to go pay your late fees and interest without any charges. So your interest doesn't build up even after it's sold for a month. So, you know, I understand it's not the best system. Alabama has never had a good sales tax system, never. This system is not good, and I don't like it. But maybe to get us over the hump, and during the summer, I'm going to come up with a good system. I'm going to look at other states, and I'm going to find a system that works for everybody, and it works uniformly across the state. I'll tell you that. I'm going to fix this problem. It's been a problem forever, and I want to fix it. So all I'm looking for now is a fix to get us over the hump until we can make that happen. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, at the correct time, I'd like to make a motion to.
All right, we have a motion made. Any second, please? All right, so motion and second. We're back on the bill as amended. Motion and second made. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? The bill has a favorable report as amended. Chairman Sales, turn it back over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And this meeting is adjourned.